Everybody see it?
Yes.
All right, Celia, you're up.
So hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And I would like to begin by thanking Ms. Vici and Mr. Lamberry for empowering us to follow this cause that we're so passionate about. And we hope that we're able to convey our passion in such a way that you can visualize and acknowledge this initiative the same way we do.
Sorry. So thank you, Celia. So now we're going to talk about why our plan is eco schools. So with a bunch of research, we realized that schools are the most optimum places to tackle environmental issues, spread awareness, and promote a sustainable and eco-friendly lifestyle. And we want to set it as a normality rather than a trend. So we have three main agendas in our action plan. We want to promote sustainable fashion, which is to reduce the textile waste and also textile. We want to reduce, reuse, and recycle plastic and paper. Now we've chose plastic, paper, and textile because we've realized that it is actually one of the top contributors to the earth. So if we could fix that, then maybe there's a brighter future. But in order to get a deeper insight into our project, we have come up with objectives. So our three objectives are promoting and building eco-consciousness, pursuing a sustainable path, and ensuring that everyone is educated on what we're going to do. We want to change this because it's high time to tackle climate change and global warming. And like I said, we want to tackle it from an individual as well as an educational level. So sustainability is preached everywhere, but only sometimes seen practiced. So here are some statistics we've included, which have massive numbers. And these numbers basically drove us to pursue this project even more.
Now, if you can take like a quick second, I think everybody knows what sustainable fashion means and implies, and what is the effect of a negative system. So upon reading this definition, people can feel very reluctant to approach such a large issue. And so we've decided to tackle this not so prevalently spoken issue and understand its devastating effect of how a simple piece of clothing, if not disposed properly, it's what it can do, its effects, and the impact of creating and having a sustainable system. We cannot tackle all of the problems of a negative fashion system which it imposes. However, we can start small at our school by effectively reducing individual and institutional contribution to textile waste. So these are some methods of how us as individuals can help. We can buy smart, we can support secondhand thrift and local shops, we can donate clothes or hand them down, we can restyle our wardrobe by seeking new opinions, borrow from friends, repair and renew damaged clothing, urge and demand corporations to be ethical and sustainable, as well as re-educating yourself. Now, it is an old ambition of ours to eradicate plastic bags. We want to take it a step further and achieve that, but also implement use of cloth bags instead in households, routine life, and schools. We've decided to divide it up into three parts: vision, solution, and issue, where essentially garments are collected to create cloth bags. In order to achieve this plan, we have set up two courses of action. The first one being where an inter-house competition will be held. Representatives and their teams will gather the needed number of garments, PE or otherwise, and points will be awarded according to the amount that is collected, and the house with the highest number of garments in the given time will win. Now, the second course of action is where the workshop will be held by staff or parents to teach students to create their own cloth bags. And I do want to say that we do realize that some of this cannot be done according to the current climate.
Speaking of plastic, our second agenda is to lessen plastic pollutions from schools. With a bunch of observation, we've noticed that there is an unnecessary use of plastic around the school, which is mainly single-use plastic bottles. So this is why our first course of action is to replace plastic bottles with non-plastic bottles. So essentially, we're eradicating the single-use plastic from our school.
Now,
Additionally, we want to also place recycling bins around the school if we don't already have them.
now moving over to paper, during the pandemic, our school recorded a drastic reduction in use of paper. In just 4 months, we were able to save 88 trees, I'm sorry. And we just thinking that if we're able to continue this agenda to preserve our environment by reducing use of paper, and spread this message throughout other fellow schools in across the country, how much more we'll be able to save. So over the holidays, we brainstormed a few ideas that could help us continue to operate a paperless free school. First and foremost, we must adapt to habits of making double-side prints to reduce the number of paper used. This is something that can be implemented in both as an individual and in a school level. We could also print documents on blank side of already used paper to encourage recycling, opt for online platforms to transfer and pass on documents, encourage teachers to accept our research assignments through emails or other online platforms instead of hard copies. Also encourage students to complete their assignments wherever possible in a soft format to reduce the usage of paper. Another effective way to reduce usage of paper is to remanufacture old notebooks, paper, and newspaper into new notebooks that could be used by students in their next academic year. So in order to be able to spread this message and collect donations accordingly, we are hoping to use the same concept of an inter-house competition as the same for the plastic bags to be turned into cloth bags and water bottles. And in this competition, we'll this time around be collecting old papers, notebooks, newspapers, and all of these could be renewed and remanufactured into new notebooks for students to be able to use in their next academic years and reduce the usage of paper we have. I think handing over to Elisa, you can. I think Elisa is having a few issues with her internet.
And now we have the first term action plan. We have selected.
Have we lost Elisa?
Yeah, we've lost her.
I think something happened.
You want to try again?
It's okay. There you go. Amina, you can continue.
So due to these circumstances right now, we know that some of the hands-on projects are a little less hard to tackle right now, but we have selected 3 plans we can tackle right now. So the first one is the educating on climate change, obviously, which is inside the school as well as external sources. And the second one is teaching sessions on sustainable fashion. These will be done virtually, which is a win-win situation for everyone. And then the last but not least is taking a pledge for a sustainable meal as well as growing plants at home. Now, sustainable meal, many of you may wondering why. The thing is, adopting just one sustainable meal choice per week could be the equivalent of offsetting 2,000 metric tons of carbon footprint emissions a year. We're talking the equivalent emissions of driving 2 million miles in a fuel car. That's amazing.
Thank you so much for joining us in our presentation. Now you are welcome to ask any questions.